We're joined now by CBS 6 political expert, Dr. Bob Holsworth. Dr. Bob, thanks so much for coming in. What are your key takeaways from tonight's debate?
Well, it's great to be here, and let me just say that I think Donald Trump didn't have a great night. There are a lot of comments that were misstatements and exaggerations, but at the same time, when you look at what happened with Joe Biden, that might have been the most disastrous, catastrophic performance I've ever seen in a major debate. I think there are a lot of Democrats right now who are in absolute panic mode because they're thinking, if I'm running for Senate and this guy's at the top of the ticket, I don't know how it's going to work out. Joe Biden had one job tonight, was really to convince people that his age wasn't an issue and that he could handle the job for the next 4 years, and I think he failed.
Right, and even some of the discussion after the debate was just about that, if he should step down. Now, so for those Americans that don't really care for either candidate, you call them the double haters, did this bring any additional clarity for them?
Well, I think it brought a lot of clarity about Biden. I think these folks had concerns about him, and those concerns were reinforced this evening. And I don't think that Donald Trump did very much to engage people who already weren't Trumpites on this front. It might help some of these third-party candidates as well. I actually think now that the Democratic Party has an issue about whether or not the leadership is going to go to President Biden and say, even though it's late, you probably should step down because the public is not going to accept what happened this evening.
All right, and then if you were advising the Democrats, what would you say to them?
Well, for months I have said that I thought that Joe Biden should have said, I've done my job, and should have opened up the nomination battle and said, let's have an open battle and see what happens. That's going to be very difficult right now because they have a convention coming up in August. But by and large, I think tonight reinforced that perception, and I think it's going to be very, very difficult for Joe Biden to win this race and to reverse the perception that people are going to have after this evening.
All right. Now, some Republicans think that Virginia will actually be in play for this election, so much so that Donald Trump is actually going to be here tomorrow. What are your thoughts on the role of Virginia in this election?
Well, I think that certainly it could be in play, that Joe Biden carried it by 10 points. We're seeing a lot of polls right now that show it's basically even in Virginia. You would think the Democrats still have an opportunity. Governor Youngkin is going to be with Donald Trump tomorrow in Chesapeake. And this evening, Donald Trump attacked former Governor Northam time and time again on abortion, basically arguing that he wanted to abort babies after they were born. So I think we're going to hear from former Governor Ralph Northam tomorrow as well. But at the end of the day, I think Virginia and a lot of other states may now be in play that no one thought that was possible 6 months ago, GeNienne.
Definitely. And we have a little over 4 months before the decision is actually made. But tomorrow, as you said, Donald Trump will be here. And for more on that visit, let's go on over to Julie. And thank you so much for being here tonight.